Galaxy S20 5G versus the iPhone 11 speed tests. Let's begin with a boot up in 3, 2, 1 and see which one can get there first. Now, the Samsung Galaxy S20 is featuring the all-new Snapdragon 865 CPU. That's a 7nm chip. And also over here on the right, we do have the Apple A13 Bionic chipset, and this one right here also 7nm, 4GB of RAM, 12GB of RAM on the left. And the Samsung says, bye-bye Apple, I definitely turn on faster than you. And I know a lot of people say, well, Nick, bro, who cares? Who cares about how fast it turns on? I don't ever turn my phone off, man. Well, here's the deal. Sometimes you could have an app that crashes on either system. There's just some times that you actually need to restart your phone. And if there's an emergency situation, I want the faster phone. Okay, so let's quickly look at how the Samsung Galaxy S20 performs when it comes to the unlock. So it does have the in-display fingerprint sensor, and you could see very quick, and you could also turn this on if you know where it's placed with the screen off. So this is a very convenient way of unlocking a phone. However, sometimes if you don't know where the button is, you have to get used to it. You might actually register that. And for the iPhone 11, you all know it's just the Face ID swipe unlock. And I really do think that Face ID is very convenient when it comes to unlocking certain applications, and it's pretty fast here for iPhone 11. Mostly no one complains about Face ID. And so confirming their softwares, we're looking at Android 10 version One UI 2.1. So we are on the latest software here for the Samsung Galaxy S20. Now, 13.3.1 is the default software for this video on the iPhone 11. I will state that the Galaxy S20 is going to have that high refresh rate on because that's how I like to run this phone. It's the new feature, and that's how most people are probably going to run this phone. Now, I do have developer options on, but I don't have any animations tweaked. Everything's going to be at 1x for this device. And if we go up here, I also want to show you in advanced features. If we scroll down to the motion or the reduce animations, those are also off. So everything's pretty much default besides the 120 Hertz. Okay, so we've arrived at the application portion of this speed test. Now you can see everything closed out for iPhone 11 and everything closed out for the Samsung Galaxy S20. Now let's go ahead and go into calendar 3, 2, 1. And you can see the S20 slightly faster. Now let's go into clock. You can see S20 once again. Now I will state that this is the first time ever that a Samsung phone actually feels smoother than an iPhone. Let's go into calculator, especially due to that hardware, the 120 Hertz refresh. Let's go into weather. But the iPhone beats the Samsung there on the weather app due to loading up these ads right here. Get that out of there, Samsung, please. Coming home, let's go into Instagram, 3, 2, 1. But the iPhone at 60 Hertz is super smooth. Like for a 60 Hertz display, it's unbelievably smooth. In applications, you're not going to notice too much of a difference in performance. They're both very good here, but you can just see that level of smooth on the Samsung, unlike any other Samsungs before. Let's go into Twitter, 3, 2, 1. And you can see Twitter does fire open there first on the right. Let's go into my profile page, and you can see Samsung a little bit faster there. And the scrolling, as always, very snappy and fast for Samsung and very smooth, pleasurable to the eye on the iPhone. Let's go back home and let's go into Snapchat. And you can see Snapchat fires right open there on that Samsung. This is a fast phone here. Both of these are. Let's go into YouTube, and you can see if I go to trending here, both of them very fast and very good. But I do believe the Samsung would be the better pick here for watching YouTube videos because the OLED display is just sharper and more vibrant. Let's go into speed test. You can see iPhone had that one. Let's go into Amazon. You can see the Samsung there. And scrolling, pretty good on both. Let's go into eBay. You can see the Samsung there on eBay. So this Samsung is really doing very well here. Let's go into Pandora. And you could see ready to listen there first on the iPhone. So results looking pretty close to those on the Ultra versus the Pro Max. Let's go into Geekbench 5. And again, the iPhone there. So a lot of applications are still actually better developed for iOS. Okay, so let's head into PUBG Mobile, 3, 2, 1. And see which one could load this game up first. And it looks like the iPhone is ahead here. Historically, the iPhone pretty much is always ahead when it comes to the load times here. But you do have a better refresh on the Galaxy, so that can make a difference in how smooth the game plays there for the Galaxy device. However, the iPhone games are usually very well developed. The developers put a lot of money and effort into creating these games to be amazing for iOS. So you're probably going to have a great experience on both, but the refresh rate should look a little smoother for the Galaxy when in gaming. So really nice screen here for this phone over here, but it looks like the iPhone can still load some of these games faster. Let's go into the next game, and you can see, looks like the game is ahead here for iPhone and then the Samsung. Both of them will offer up some good titles, but iPhone seems to just, it's like they've been better developed. That's all I could say. Like, people spend more time, the developers are spending more time making the app better for the iPhone sometimes. And so let's go into Mortal Kombat 3, 2, 1 and see which one there gets there first. And it looks like the iPhone might be ahead again here. Yeah, so these games, man, if you want to play games, you want them really fast, I probably would still go with the iPhone. If you want, and some really good titles, because they usually get the better games first. But if you've been wanting a super smooth Android phone for a long time that's going to give you great performance in gaming, you're going to love the display that comes on the Galaxy, because you don't have to sacrifice design and looks like to go with one of those gaming phones, which might not be everybody's cup of tea. You can get a very sleek, more mainstream looking phone here with the Galaxy, but still get them that joy of having a 120 hertz refresh rate for your games. So that's how I would sum that part up. And so that's it on the single round of app tests. I do think that the Galaxy feels smoother in terms of the display. However, I do feel like the iPhone's a little bit faster here in the game still. At the same time, the display might look better in games for the Galaxy, and the basic apps seem to open faster for the Galaxy. And now let's go through the applications in some multitasking to see if the iPhone or this Android device, the Galaxy S20, will stutter. Let's go into the next game. And one thing I do notice is that when you come out, the Galaxy seems to hang a little bit on that landscape rotation right there, boom, and then it goes back. That's a little bit slow. I don't like that. But you know what? How often are you going to be doing that? So you're probably not going to notice it too often. So let's go into Geekbench, and you can see, boom, let's go into Pandora. But the gestures, so we had to re-listen there for the Galaxy. The gestures are just really good on both of these. I think you're going to be very happy. Let's go into Amazon. Let's go home. Let's go into speed tests. Let's go into YouTube. Looks like the Galaxy was actually loading that up again. Let's go into Snapchat. Let's go into Twitter. Let's go into Instagram. Reload there for the iPhone 11. Let's go into weather. Let's go into calculator. And let's go into clock. And let's go into calendar. So yeah, pretty much equal performance. I mean, you're paying more for the Samsung for the bigger display. You're paying more for the Samsung because it's got the OLED display. It's got one more camera. But the iPhone, man, this is a really good value in the iPhone 11. You've seen great performance here. So is that refresh rate actually making the phone smoother on the Galaxy? And I think yes. If you look closely, it's just a little smoother to the eye on that, Galaxy S20 over there. But it's really impressive how smooth the iPhone is without having a 120 hertz display. Let's go into the internet browsers. You really notice this a lot when scrolling. You can just kind of see just a little bit of stutter over there on the iPhone compared to a very seamless scroll on the Samsung. So just a little bit better. Pinch to zooming is about as smooth on both, but really, I don't think a lot of people will notice this, if they're not really looking for it between these two. I do think people that really pay attention to the displays will, though. However, still, this is going to be noticeable as the smoothest Samsung you've ever used in the Galaxy S20, and now has hardware that's surpassing iPhone. Okay, so I did a 1-minute 4K video on both. We're going to render these out in KineMaster. So 4K at 30 over there. Let's click this Untitled Project. And let's go ahead and put this in 4K. And let's go ahead and skip through this and see which one is faster. 3, 2, 1. Now, both of these do have incredible power, so I wouldn't be surprised if either beat one or the other. But keep in mind that the iPhone does have quite a few more video editing apps that may be better than the Samsung, like LumaFusion, for example, or, even the iMovie that is just not available for the Samsung device. But it does look like in KineMaster that this phone just beat the iPhone in a video render. Honestly, both of these are going to give you great performance when rendering. But you just don't have the same app polish for the Samsung, the applications that are just available as there are for the iPhone. So personally, I would pick the iPhone if I was going to do some video and video rendering. I just think it has better apps for doing so. But the Samsung is still a competent performer if you find one you like on Android. And so here we are at the web browsing test. Let's go to target.com in 3, 2, 1 and see which one can get there first. Looks like the Galaxy. I mean, seriously, pretty similar performance on Wi-Fi with both of these. Let's go into, how about bestbuy.com over here, electronics website, bestbuy.com. And over here, Best Buy, let me X that out, bestbuy.com. And let's hit go. And you can see, looks like the iPhone had that one first. So they're going to trade, they're going to trade blows in terms of which one's going to open first. But again, that 120 hertz is just taking the Samsung to a level of smooth when browsing that you've never seen before. Seriously, go try it out at the store. If you haven't, it's pretty darn impressive, that 120 hertz display. And so here we are with the final scores, and you can see that the Galaxy S20 losing by a substantial margin in the single core and by a little bit in the multi-core, but this never tells the full story. And the Samsung phone, well, I don't think it's crazily faster than the iPhone 11 in any way, shape, and form. It is definitely the smoothest Samsung experience you've probably ever seen if you haven't seen one of these new S20s. Very in line with what you're kind of used to with iPhone, and I would argue even smoother due to the 120 hertz display. So that's it for me. Which one do you prefer here? Galaxy S20 or iPhone 11? And let me know if you want to see this one versus the other $999 iPhone, the iPhone 11 Pro. I just compared these two because they feel about the same size. And this is the base entry into the Galaxy S20 line. The iPhone 11 is the base entry into the iPhone 11 line. Kind of makes me wish Samsung would have launched a Galaxy S20e at like $699. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. Thank you very much for watching, and be subscribed to see more content like this. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.